2 weeks of memorization, hard work, and friendships.
Let's go wild! Okay, so first of all, we just want to let you guys know that these are our own personal views and opinions, and that you should do your own research if you're interested in coming to Wildlife Friends Foundation. And if you want to do that, you can check out their website on WFFT.org.
Internet. So yeah, we thought it would be a good idea to take you through virtual tour of the center, right? It's not gonna be that great, but let's just see. So when you arrive, you go through this big gate, yeah, and you're standing in this area called the volunteer house, which has all the whiteboards with the schedules. It's got this like massive tables. It also has like 4 bedrooms and a couple of toilets, right? If you like turn to your right, in the distance there is an office where you can visit the volunteer coordinators, and right next to that there's 2 food houses. That's nothing to do with food for us, that's all for the animals. One of the food houses, the food house 1 I think it's called, it's got this Thai lady which is a master of like distributing all the fruits and like everything for the animals, right? And like further to the right there's also a quarantine. And if you're going to the left from the volunteer house, you're gonna kind of pass a few smoking areas, and you also get to the elephant kitchen, which that's where we eat. And there's also 2 elephants on each side of the kitchen, which is pretty cool. So oh yeah, and all amongst these areas, yeah, there's obviously animal enclosures with gibbons or different animals, right? So did I miss anything, Laurie?
No, that's it. Okay, so let's talk about work. So we meet up at 6:20 at the volunteer house, because that's where you would go and you check all the whiteboards to see where you are, which team you're on, and you try to find your team leader. You also need to check if you're on special duties, which include dog duty or house cleaning. Because if you're on there, you also need to do that. And if you are on there and you can't do it because you're going away somewhere, it's your responsibility to get it covered.
Good luck. So yeah, as Laurie said, when you look at your board in the morning, there's like different roles highlighted on it. So you can be a newbie, which is got like a star, or you can be a trainee for a leader, which you have a plus and you would be leading the next day. Oh well, the common rule is like it should be 2 days before leading, but sometimes it's just like 1 day. It depends on a group. And or you can be a leader, which you have your name underlined. Pretty scary stuff, okay? If you wake up in the morning and you're just like, what's going on today?
Okay, so the working hours. So we start at 6:30 in the morning and we don't finish till about 5:30 in the evening. And I'm not joking, it's literally been like the hardest physical work I've ever done. And everyone feels like this, and some people are so fit and like really active. And so if anybody does want to come here but you're thinking, oh, but I won't get to go to the gym though, that's not a worry at all. Yeah, you fucking bust your ass like so hard. It's like the whole any team in wildlife, it's very fast paced. It's like you're just chucked on a train at 100 miles an hour. And it can become really overwhelming, especially if you are team leading and your name's down to be a team leader, which me and Jiri both experience. Because if you're here more than 1 week, you're going to be a team leader. Like, that's just the rule.
Well, the team leader means that you basically learn the schedule for that day, yeah, and you can, kind of like supervise like what's going on. But obviously there is still coordinators you can ask like for any sort of details, but yeah.
Okay, so obviously in your team you get told from your team leader like what to do and everything like that, but obviously if you're a newbie it goes in one ear and out the other sometimes. So at each station or each department there is like boards and sheets explaining what to do, and like kind of just like a schedule of your day and like who gets what sort of thing. But yeah, sometimes there isn't time to do that because it's so demanding that you have to like feed animals at a certain time. So yeah, it's really hard and overwhelming to like learn what you're meant to be doing at the same time as being physically draining.
Yeah, all this is kind of like kind of hard on your memory as well. Even if you're leading like 1 week and the next week on the same group, there can be many changes because there can be new animals, there can be some changes in diets for certain animals. Yeah, so it basically changes like sometimes even daily. So you need to keep up with like what's going on and then pass the knowledge down.
Yeah.
So we've, as Laurie said, we've experienced few work groups on wildlife, which we also led. So we can tell you a bit about those.
Yeah, so my first few days I did Primates 1, and that's basically really, really fast paced and
That's the
intense.
intense one. Yeah.
Yeah, so you like 6:30 straight away go over to the food house and you've got to prepare over 130 bowls of food for macaques and gibbons. So there's singles, doubles, and triple bowls. So like a single bowl is they get like one piece of each fruit, double is 2, triple is 3. So you need to like show like so even if you work out what you're doing, you also have to show people what to do, which is time consuming because they're new as well. So like straight away you're in, you have to explain this. You're like, okay, lay the bowls out like this. I need this per bowl. You have to take all the fruit out of the sink, wash it, drain it.
Why is it in a sink?
Yeah, so we need to soak it in potassium for 10 minutes to get rid of like pesticides and chemicals and stuff like that. Then you need to drain it, then you need to chop it, and yeah, you need to like give orders, and it's like a lot of chaos going in there. And also the floor, it's like made from tiles, so it gets really slippery as well. So like I'm always like telling people like be careful, and like so you're just trying to do your best without like killing yourself or chopping your fingers off. Yeah. And then straight after that you go and do the feed out, and you have like a map that you've got to follow, and I'm not the best at reading maps, so like that was quite confusing for me, but yeah, everyone got fed in the end. It's fine, don't worry. And then
So how do they get fed?
so we stack all the bowls into like crates and things like that and carry it on a cart, and then each enclosure has like baskets, so then you just tip the bowl into the baskets, and some and some go like if it's a gibbon, it's like a basket that goes up a tree and it's like on a rope, so you like untie it, like take it down on the rope and put it back up and tie it. Also in some enclosures, like you need to feed all like if there's one enclosure that's got quite a few macaques and there's like one really dominant one in there, you've got to like get your team spread out to like feed them all at the same time. So you position yourself all in the baskets and you're like, okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Because if you feed them like all like it separately or different times, like the dominant one will just go around and take everything that he wants from it, and the other ones don't get like a fair pickings. And then in amongst all that, like you've got to always like clean up after yourself. So you throw down water on the tables, you like sweep everything off the floors, you like get like a squeegee thing to get all the water
windows,
out. Yeah, and then you like clear out the drains and you scrub baskets, and and there's also this thing called a special project as well that's usually in your daily schedule. So a special project, it's not something special for us, but it's something special for them. So it's usually like really, really shit jobs. So my first special project was cleaning. So we had to drain and clean out and scrub slime off of the pig's pool. Yeah, and these pools
slime is obviously composed of many different things.
Yeah, and the pools are quite big. They're not small. They're like quite big pools. So yeah, but you paid up with another team, so it's usually like 2 teams doing it. But yeah, and it's in the heat. It's really exhausting and tiring, and there's like particles like spurting in your face. And
the first week we were sweating so much because the body wasn't used to it at all.
Yeah. So like the special projects are always entertaining. Yeah. So like other special projects we've done is like a peacock pool. We've scrubbed down cages. We've scrubbed bear pools. We've swept paths. We've cut bamboo down. We've done heaps of stuff, like heaps of crazy stuff. Yeah, like things like I never thought I'd do.
Picking up rocks like from different enclosures.
Yeah, picking up dead wood, like things that will really benefit the animal, but it's like shit for you. Yeah. Yeah, and you prepare enrichments for the animals as well. So like I said, we had like 130 bowls, so you would prepare like 130 enrichments in the afternoon. So an enrichment is like a snack for them, but you make it slightly difficult so it's not as obvious. So for example, for the gibbons and the macaques, you could like mash banana, put some seeds in it, wrap it in corn leaves, wrap it in hay, and like tie it with banana string. So like, they're like it's to help stimulate their brain, like give them a bit of excitement, and also obviously in the wild they don't just come across fruit that's handed to them, like they would have to go looking for it. So it's just like little things like this
It's a good
to
exercise for
yeah,
them.
to like help their chances to be released again. Yeah, and like I said, you've just got to constantly clean up, and also like if you're finished doing something but you see like a different team next to you, you always check in with them, like, do you want a hand, do you want some help, rather than just going and taking a break, which to be honest you don't get many spare breaks in
Mm-hmm.
between lunch and dinner. So yeah, and then on Primates one, my favorite animal there was a macaque, and he was called John, and he's my favorite because he was in an enclosure with like a really dominant male called Dolla, and like so when you have the teammates have to distract Dolla, and then you've got to shout John because he's blind and he looks like the monkey from The Lion King, right? So you're like, John, John, and he comes down from his tree like really, really slowly, and because he's blind, he like comes down and he's like really skittish, and he like looks about, any noises he like jumps and stuff, and it's like it's really like funny and adorable. Obviously, it's not funny for him because he's like actually scared, but it's so cute and funny to like watch. And then eventually he comes over and you get to like throw the fruit through the cage for him. And when he gets it, you're like really happy. You're like, oh, he's 8, and yeah, he's just super sweet. I really like him.
That's cool. All right, so Laurie covered quite a few things that are general for all the groups, like special projects or enrichments and stuff like that. So let's see other groups we've done. So I have not done Primates 1 actually in my 2 weeks there at all, which I was very grateful for actually. And the first group I was a part of was called Primates 2. So we only had gibbons there, not macaques. So it's this like small forest area. I'm not sure if it's actually like a secondary stage for. It's probably not, Lori, right? It's not like Primates 1 is like one level and then Primates 2 is like where they go if they like can be more like rehabilitated or
I'm
something.
not sure actually. I'd be
Yeah.
speaking rubbish if I
Because
said
it's
yeah.
more like in a forest, you actually have like quite a long walk where you need to like go around all these cages and like feed them and like give them water and stuff. So how it was different is that you start your day with water runs and scrubs, they call it. So you go around all the cages, take down the water buckets which are on the rope. Yeah. Like Laurie mentioned before, you put everything for gibbons in the hide because that's where they would find it in nature. I was never really sure like how is that making sense with the water though, because they would need to probably go down to get the water.
Yeah, but maybe they would get it from leaves. Like when it's
Yeah,
raining, they would
most likely.
put
Yeah.
the leaves to their mouths or something like that because they don't like going to the ground and they don't like water.
Yeah.
So they can't
Yeah,
swim. They
you're
don't
right.
like it.
So it's like Primates 2 is that's like you do this 5 times a day. So you need to go around all these like enclosures and check all the water buckets. There is heaps, right? You also one time you like take a scrub and you like scrub them down and refill them all again. Um, we don't prep the food for them, but that's the job of Primates 1. So as Lori said,
You're
like
welcome.
yeah, thank you. So all the like bowls they make, we actually take a portion of those for us. We don't actually feed the gibbons only. We also feed the deer, which are in the forest, which is so cool. Like you go through this like double gate, yeah, so no one escapes, and then you're just like walking amongst deer and I think there is a
There's
goat as
wild,
well.
yeah. There's a goat and there's wild boar.
Yeah, there's wild boar as well. It's so cool. The gibbons are so funny. Yeah, there is like this one which is so territorial. He gets like triple, the triple food. He's like the big one, and they make this really loud noise. Like if you approach the cages and stuff, and they behave in funny ways. They like one shakes water out on you, like another one So funny. Like this one was just like showing me his bum whenever I like enter the territory. Just like they're so funny, right? And there's like different stories about all these animals. So there's like one that used to be a pet of this like police officer, but his wife didn't like it at all because the gibbon got really attached to the guy, and now I think the gibbon hates like women when they approach like when they like enter its like territory and stuff.
Yeah.
So it goes crazy when it sees like ladies around, or and there's another one that hates men. So you just like need
Yeah.
to
They've all got like background stories,
yeah.
like, wherever they came from, like if they were abused or if they used to be like, pets or yeah, so obviously like if a male was torturing them or doing something
Mm,
to them, they have that connection that like males are bad, so some of them freak out or they'll show stress disorders when seeing them and stuff. It's really really sad in a
yeah.
way as well, like it is very sad, so yeah.
Yeah, so I was actually when I was working in this team, there was one they call it like the family. There was like I think three gibbons, and one was like young, and they actually were moved from the forest into the gibbon island, which is like the third level I think, where they because they don't swim, they it's still like an enclosure, but it's more like natural.
Yeah, so there's no cage around it. It's
Hmm.
like an island surrounded by water, and because gibbons
It's in a
can't
lake.
swim,
Yeah.
yeah, they are free, and they still get like fruit and stuff provided to them. So it's like this stage before releasement.
Hmm.
So they'll be observing them and seeing how they get on, and then hopefully they'll release them into the wild soon.
Yeah. And my favorite animal in this group was actually the deer because it was so cool because you were so close to them. Like there was no cages really, it was really interesting like seeing all these animals. Also, when you were actually taking the food with you to feed the gibbons, you had to be very careful because the deer were following you and they were waiting till you like were away from the this like bowl, like this massive container for the food, and they would just snatch the food for themselves. They're very
Yeah.
clever, yeah.
So another department I did was quarantine, and it was one of my favorites. It was one of the most chilled ones, and that's where you deal with langurs and all the animals in quarantine. So in the morning, you prepare 35 bowls for the langurs, which are leaf-eating monkeys. So it's all like leaves and like some vegetables, and yeah, it's like super chilled. And once you do that, you like go feed them, and they get their food put into baskets, and also some go up into trees. And these guys are little monsters. Like they look really really cute, but they're like really really vicious, and they've got like tunnels that go through the trees as well, and they're just constantly trying to grab at you, and it's funny.
They are like cute and creepy in the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like when you're walking down to feed them, it's like they all had a plan and then they split up and they're like, "Okay, boys, let's go." And you shit yourself going to feed them. Yeah, it's
Because
like
they can pee on you, like we've
yeah,
done it
they
before.
like yeah, they like pee on you and they like just try to grab you, pull your hair, like yeah, they're still cute though. And then when we get back, we feed the quarantine. So someone else makes our bowls for that, and we feed everyone in quarantine. We wash everything up. We then hose down all of the enclosures, like refill their water. We then go over to the food house and clean up there after Primates 1. And then we also get the leaves. We get like we go down to this like plant room
Is
and
it the
pick.
dry leaves?
No, it's
No.
like we go down to this plant room and pick up leaves for the langurs that
Oh,
this woman's prepared,
okay.
because they get fed 4 times a day. Plus, they get two of these like bunches of leaves for each langur, because they waste quite a lot of their food. Like they're leaf eating monkeys, so they would usually just like eat leaves from trees all the time, but their enclosure doesn't have much leaves on trees anymore, so we have to constantly feed them lots of leaves and stuff. Yeah. And yeah, so we give them that, and then we also prepare and make richments for them as well. So because they're langurs, they don't eat any fruits, so I would do something like with the corn. They love corn, so I would like get corn, like wrap it in hay, or you could like wrap it in a coconut, wrap it with corn leaves, just like wrap it, and then like wrap it with banana string, which would just seal it, and yeah, they would be happy. And then yeah, and then there would be special projects throughout the day again. So again, probably cleaning some pools, doing some sweeping, helping other teams. But yeah, so that was quarantine. I really liked it. And my favorite animal there was King because he's a gibbon and he's so cute. So he used to be a pet and he's super like friendly and like gentle, and he's the most gentle gibbon that I've like seen there. So like he puts his hand out because he wants you to like touch him or hold him, but you're not allowed to just due to this strict hands off policy here. And he's so cute. Like you could show him like a bowl of salad and he'll gently like pick out something he wants. But if you did that to any other like animal here, they would be like trying to rip your face off or pull the whole bowl through because they think you're trying to take it from them and stuff like that. So he's really cute. And if it wasn't an animal like in an enclosure, it would be Lex the cat that's there because she's super cute. She's always like up on the table and meowing for affection.
Is it one that goes to like other wildlife as well?
I'm not sure. There's
ginger one.
there's heaps of cats everywhere. There's lots of ginger cats, but Lex lives in quarantine and she's so cute. So yeah, I used to love getting bosies from her as well.
So the next group I led was other wildlife. So talking primates 1, it's crazy, yeah? And it's like the quantity is like a lot of the food, but other wildlife is like the really hard one, the other really hard one, where you make food for so many different kinds of animals with different diets, which is like when you're meant to lead this team, you need to just really wrap your head around it. I started, I would be taking pictures of different bowls, like making notes as I went along that, and you just going 100 miles an hour trying to just write something down to remember the next day. Yeah, it was absolutely mental. Yeah, so you make actually food there for 13 different kinds of animals, but you directly feed only 7 of them. So the 7 you feed directly is there's a cassowary we have here, which is we call it. He's called Bernie, right? Oh, like he's so sweet. He came from Australia. It's a bird native to Australia. He came smuggled, yeah, as an egg into Thailand, and then when he grew up, and I think he ran away from whoever was keeping him, and he got to this village, and the people thought like he was a dinosaur, so they called some like people up to sort this out. But before they could arrive, they were like basically took the situation to their own hands and like basically smashed his head against the ground. And poor Bernie basically has a brain damage now, so it's very hard for him to eat. So any kind of thing he picks, it's just like really sad to see. But like when he actually gets the fruit in his like his mouth properly, you're just like, oh my god.
Yeah,
like,
you're so happy for him. You're like, well done, Bernie.
yeah.
You can
By the way,
do it.
he doesn't have a mouth; he has a beak.
Yeah.
Let's just be clear about that. Then yeah, you also feed parrots. There is this like hilarious parrot there that always says hello. Yeah, like hello, yeah, and you need to like respond hello straight away, or you could be actually like in danger. So
he becomes really arsey if you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's called Blue. And
Yeah, Blue.
He's adorable though.
So
if
cool.
you're, yeah.
you also directly feed turtles and tortoises. They're in this massive enclosure, and whenever you go there to feed them, like there's these 2 dogs. There used to be rabbits in this enclosure apparently, so they always wait at that gate to get in, and you need to like such a little shits, yeah. You need to try to get through the gate so they don't get there as well, because it would be such a hassle to like get them out. You also feed iguanas, which is pretty cool. There is the Simon the cow, the 3-legged cow. He's really cool, right? But he doesn't like males, so when we went the first time to feed him, he was like kind of, is it like headbutting me?
Yeah, and he has massive horns.
Yeah, so
massive horns and 3 legs. Yeah.
But he always like kind of goes for women. Like his thing is with women. Yeah, he goes like licks their legs and stuff,
Yeah.
like sniffs them, and
Yeah.
like it's really weird. Yeah, like. And then we also feed the pigs. We have like male pigs here and female pigs, and they're called pot-bellied pigs, right?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Yeah. So that's the 7 we feed directly in other wildlife, but you also have other animals you prep food for, like deer, marmoset, peacock, goat, porcupine, muntjac, and bamboo rat. So you need to basically remember all their diets. There's like a massive board explaining everything. It's not all, like they also get like special supplements each day for their food. Um, yeah, which could vary from many different things, like vitamin powders, like just different things. Um, so you also clean enclosures like after your feed out, change water, like scrub the water bowls or different like water
Like where they
containers
bathe,
that
yeah, like where they would bathe, you wash that
we
as well.
also like wash in other wildlife. We washed the otters bit, which was so cute. Like he's so cute, but he can like bite through your bones. It's like really dangerous to like try to like find him really cute. Or, like, obviously there's hands off policy, but someone apparently
Yeah.
tried it in the past and they got like proper like bitten through the bone.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Um, so you also do enrichments, which are different for different animals. You only do like I think you do enrichments only there for Bernie, for the pigs, which you just cut down like banana tree chunks, which you do with like the machete, which is quite fun. There is like a technique to it. You do like in an angle, and it works really well. Um, yeah, and they just love it. They just like munch on it. It's so cute. Like I love the pigs, right? And yeah, for Bernie, cannot make anything too sophisticated because he like wouldn't get into it. So it's usually like just like banana necklace or something like
Yeah, like something hanging on a string for him.
something
Yeah.
for him, yeah, like that.
So who's your favorite?
My favorite are the pigs. Yeah, they're so cute.
They
like,
are cute.
Whenever you give them food, they just like love it so much.
Yeah, they come up and like sniff you and like they rub against you and like they want petted all
They're
the
so
time.
gentle. I never thought they would be so gentle.
Yeah, until like there's food on the go,
Yeah.
then there can be a few
If they
scraps.
obviously if they're starved and you enter their territory,
You're a goner.
yeah.
Okay, and so for bears one as well, it's like you're just like again in the morning you're prepping heaps of food for all the bears. You dish out the food, you clean up everything. We also go and deal with the female pigs, so it's really nice. They come over and talk to you. You refill their water, like scrub it out, you clean out their food trays, things like that. Then you come out of there. We also on Bears One deal with the lorises and the civets. So we go down there, we clean out their enclosures, sweep it out. They're nocturnal, so they're usually always sleeping. We take out their old food bowls, take everything back, wash it, and then in the afternoon we like do the feed out again, and it's amazing because sometimes the lorises are actually out and they're so cute. Like everyone's seen them in pictures, but when you see them in real life, they're tiny. Like they're so cute and small and amazing. Yeah, and the civets are vicious. They're really cool but vicious, and yeah, it's just amazing. So yeah, there's like lots of animals in that one. Again, special projects, mainly going in, cleaning bear enclosures. And it's cool when you feed the bears as well. Like the bears are closed out in their large enclosure, and you go into their den and you like dish out the food, but you like hide it as well. You like hide it in tires or hide it up somewhere high, like throw it in the water. You like scatter it about so the bears come in using their nose, like searching for it. It's not like they go to their food bowl. It's like, it's really cool how it's done.
They're great climbers. Like
Yeah, they're amazing. It's really cool like when you like put out the food that you like watch them find it. Also you make enrichments for them too, and it's like we use these things called kongs, and they're like big heavy balls with like a center, and you can like put like mashed banana in there, like stuff hay in, and like hide it somewhere, or like you can hide it on like one of their really high climbing frames, and yeah, it's really interesting. So that one's quite cool. Yeah.
What's your
Favorite animal. So this sounds really bad, but I actually forgotten her name, but she's one of the civets there, because when you went in to clean out the enclosures, you would have to always lock them in their dens while you cleaned them out. But this one civet would always sleep on top of like the doorway where you would lift up, and she slept against the rope and the door there. So like, and apparently she was okay, so you would always just go in with her sleeping.
wow.
Yeah, and she was ace. Like she always would be asleep. Like every time. She was amazing. Yeah. I can't remember her name. It's sad.
Aw.
Yeah, but I liked her just because she was so sweet.
So yeah, when Laurie was put on Bears One, I was put on bears too. So, it's like it's quite similar, but, we were actually working together at those points as well. Like we were prepping the food together in the morning. Um, we have like many more bears there, so we would go get the food there, but before we could dish out the food, we would have to like get all the old food out of the grass. They have massive enclosures, so you would need to find it. They have these tunnels as well, and obviously you need to find all the poop as well and scrub that too. So sometimes there'll be just like big surprises waiting for us. um Again, we would do enrichments as well, but there is a deal between bears 1 and bears 2. Like half of them preps the food for the enrichments for bears, and the other makes the enrichments for nocturnals, which is quite interesting, right? And I'll also tell you later on why that might be. So we would like change that between the two groups. Also, when other wildlife preps the food for iguanas, bears 2 at a certain point in time just takes it and feeds it to the iguanas, so that's also on their list. And in the afternoon, there is prep food for the nocturnals. For lorises and civets, they have different what is it called? Different supplements as well. And my favorite animal in this group was actually the loris. Like they're so cute. Like their eyes are like so big, yeah, and they're so like
They're so slow and
they're
stuff,
so
yeah.
slow.
But like, I never knew this, but they've got venomous stuff in their
Glands?
veins. Yeah, glands.
Yeah.
That's the word. Yeah, glands. They've got venomous glands, right? And if they lick their glands and like lick you, you're like in big trouble. Yeah. So
Yeah, they
yeah.
look super cute, but they can be quite
Yeah.
dangerous.
So don't ever like touch one if they're in the wild or whatever.
Okay, well, talking about nocturnals.
Yeah, so the last one I led as well was Nocturnals. So that's basically if there's lots of volunteers, they split up Bears One and Nocturnals. So it's like you would just deal with civets and lorises, and then your whole day would be filled with special projects, which is absolute shite. It's so boring. Yeah. And also, like, whenever we're cleaning out and doing stuff, we make heaps and heaps and heaps of compost. We've got to take that compost to like compost piles. Like we have to do everything. Like we've got to, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but that group's not active much. Maybe like once
Thank
in
God.
2 weeks or something. Okay, so now we can look into some trips we've actually done on our days off. So what have we done?
Yeah, so one Wednesday we went to the Bat Caves and Market, and it was so cool. We went with our friends Danielle and Mario, and it was so much fun. Like we were all so knackered from work. We were like, should we go? Should we not go? And I'm really glad we did go because
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
ace.
fun.
It was such like a beautiful scenery, and I've never seen bats come out of a cave before, and it was just amazing. There's like 4 million bats there, and to be honest, like I thought they were going to be like closer, which they weren't, which was fine, but they kind of looked like little flies in the sky. But they made this like massive like river. It was like a massive river of bats, and they never broke it really.
Yeah, it
They
looked
just
really cool.
kept going in this like river that they formed, and like we were
Just
there.
kept going and going.
Yeah,
were
we
just
were
like,
there for
what?
half an hour and it was still going. They were just
Yeah.
coming out, and they did get closer and stuff like that. It was really cool. And after we went to the night market in Chatham, it was ace. Like our friend Mario, he was so sweet. He was always like, when he was with us, he's like, yeah, I'm eating vegan with you. So, like show me how to be vegan and stuff. Like he was just so sweet. So like I was like, oh yeah, I really want the mango sticky rice. Yeah, he's like, yeah, let's find it. And like we were like searching this market for like 10 minutes, and we eventually found it. And like yeah, we all got some of that, and we got some other vegan stuff that we found, like sweet potato puffs and like salted popcorn, and we got some nice juice. And yeah, it was really nice. And yeah, we had so much fun. Like we laughed so much that
I
night.
remember that music in the car.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
you and Danielle being like making up what the movie soundtrack would look like and stuff like that.
Yeah, like the video clip, like how
Yeah,
so
it was
hilarious,
so
actually.
funny. Like we honestly laughed so much that
It was
night.
we really needed that day actually. It was the
Yeah.
first week we were just so like overwhelmed by everything, and this really
Yeah, it was
ace,
really,
yeah.
really nice. Yeah, and like we managed to get Yuri like a pair of Croc shoes as well, which she really needed. And it was like, she was like 200 baht, and I was like, really? I was like 150, like please. And she was like, no.
It was like the
She was like,
shittest
yeah, she
bargain
was like,
making.
no. And she looked at me and she was like 190, and Yuri was like, okay. Yeah, we suck at bargaining,
Yeah, it
but
was
yeah.
pretty bad. Yeah. So yeah, on some other nights we would just walk to the village with Mario or someone else, and it'd be cool. Just like it's like a close by village. You just go.
Like
It's like
10-minute
10 minute
walk,
walk.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'd have
So you
some
would
really
just
nice conversations and
explore the shops and stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
it was nice.
And on our day off, that like on our first week, we went to Hellwin, and like it was my birthday on the Friday. We were so like busy with work and getting to know this place. Like we had no time to do any research, and like it was like the king's birthday in Thailand as well. So like everywhere was booked out. So we ended up spending quite a lot of money on like a hotel, like getting there,
Oh my
and
god, that
like
hotel though.
yeah, and we went to like yeah, I
It
know.
had reception in like a different building,
Yeah, it was
and
awful.
then they took you across the street from to somewhere else. I was like, well,
Yeah, it was a dodgy hotel. It was shit. But then there was like a vegan cafe there. It was quite nice. Like it's like really healthy food. So
okay, okay. Let's make this like clear. Yeah, the food wasn't that great actually. It was quite expensive though, so we were just slightly disappointed.
yeah, but I liked it. Like you didn't like your burger, but I did, and I ended up getting mac and cheese. It was actually really
You
nice.
didn't really like the pasta you got. It was
No,
like
I
the
got like a
mushroom
mushroom
pasta.
pasta and it had like no sauce. Yeah, but it's like that's what I'm saying. Like some of the food there is actually quite nice. So I think it's like a hit or a miss there. Anyway, I'm just glad that there was like vegan food. So
What
yeah.
about the massage there?
Yeah, and we got a massage. Like I love Thai massage. I talk about it all the time, but it's amazing. It really sorts you out as a
Go for it, yeah.
person. Yeah. So we went, and I was like, Yiri, like there's guys everywhere. What if it's a guy? And he's like, no, no, they'll just be like the reception person. No, we went in, yeah, and two guys were like, yeah, you're coming with us, and we were like, okay, and we were like, well, what do we do? Do we take our clothes off or what? And they were like, yeah, and it was so nice. They like gave us clothes. We like went into this nice relaxing room, got changed, like came out. They like wash your feet
And
and
no
like
one else was
pebbles.
there.
Yeah, it was so nice and
Yeah,
quiet.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
and they
really
were
cool.
amazing. It was so good. So yeah, we did like have a nice day off. Yeah, so we did that one time.
Yeah, and then the week after that we went to Cham, which is much closer, and it's like quite. It's more Thai. It's not for tourists much, but Laurie found this great resort there.
Yeah,
Um,
for £11 a night.
yeah,
It's
really
amazing.
nice.
Like
It's got a pool and everything.
yeah,
And,
really nice pool, really clean rooms.
it's like calmer than Hua Hin. It's got like seafood everywhere, which we were kind of like, oh, we were trying to find this vegan restaurant there, which is just like mysterious. Like, is on Happy Cow, someone mentioned there is this restaurant, so we were trying to find it. Yeah, the GPS location was taking us to this like weird spot. Like, there was nothing there, so it was a little bit of a disappointment from this side, but it was like really nice. Like the hotel room was much nicer than the other one, and but by the way, like they make this like barbecues in Thailand everywhere, like at the side of the road, yeah, and it smells like engine oil, yeah. Like I don't know, like I don't think they are using the like coal or anything. It must be something like strange going on there, yeah. But whenever you're passing like sides of the roads, Lorry just like can't, like it smells so,
No,
it's so
it's
bad.
so bad. Like it just reminded me of India. So you've got this humid heat as well, and they've got heaps of bins with no lids. So imagine that smell mixed with like seafood being like cooked and also like pigs being roasted, yeah. So my fucking
Yeah, but
nightmare.
yeah, it's
My nightmare
so
with this
weird.
garbage smell, and like I like can't handle it. I have to put like my hair over my nose, and yeah, I really don't like that part of it.
Yeah, and the morning after that, we got another massage in this like parlor. It was really nice, and we went to this market. It was just like, it was such a chase. It was like we got out of the massage like 11 or like 10:30, and like
Checkout was
had
at
to
12, and we had
yes
to go to this market to get some mango sticky rice because we didn't know anything vegan, but we know
yeah.
like that's vegan and it would be at a market. So yeah, we were rushing about. We finally got back in time.
We could stay at the pool till 5, so it was pretty cool. And we both got so sunburned.
Yeah, we did,
Yeah.
because we were like lying by the pool and it was so nice and amazing. And then it was like, 10 minutes before our taxi, we were like, oh, you look quite rad. Yeah, we were both like lobsters. Okay, so we have a new section and it's called Jiri's Awkward Moments.
Yep. All right. So the first, oh my god. So, okay, in wildlife, yeah. My first thing was, as a guy, yeah, working all day and obviously sweating like uncontrollably.
Like a little bitch, yeah.
Yeah. No, seriously, like so much.
And there's no point washing until after your shift. One,
Yeah,
because you've
you're
got no
just-
time, and two, because you just keep sweating and sweating buckets.
Okay, so I developed this like crazy sweat rash and chafing issue on my bum, yeah. But usually I would like wash in the evening and it would be okay next day. But no, this was like blister type of situation, yeah. But the only male coordinator that was here left. It was like the second week, so there was only the girls, right? So I had to write to this one like in the morning, being like, "I'm really sorry, I can't like come to work today because like
I've got a sweat.
I couldn't even like walk. It was so sore."
I
But
know.
we got like medicine and
And
stuff.
then like everyone was like saying to me in the morning, like, "Oh, where's Jiri?
Okay,
What's
yeah,
going on with him?" And I literally had to tell every single person he has a sweat rash going on in his ass. Yeah.
No, so I was hiding in my room, yeah, like a little bitch, and then I get out like in the evening for the dinner, and everyone knows about my ass, yeah, and asking, like giving me creams and stuff. It was
Oh, it was so funny.
bad.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the next thing was we literally had like a 15-minute break or something one day, and Yuri's like, "Okay, I'll go get some water."
Oh yeah, there's these like water stations.
Yeah, so like, if you're just in an office, you would go like get some water from like a machine with a cup. Yeah, so it was like that situation. So Yuri was like refilling the barrel, yeah. Walked across the room and it just fell out of his hands, smashed and burst everywhere all over the volunteer floor. And he was like, fuck, yeah. We had so we're now down to like 12 minutes and he's like rushing about like trying to
like,
sweep it up
yeah,
and mop it out, and it took ages and he had so much sweat all over him just
And
from
I was
cleaning
just trying
this
to
up,
have a
yeah.
drink, yeah, because I had this like short like moment to like sit down, and I
It was so
couldn't.
funny, yeah, it was so funny.
So special thanks and shout out this week goes to Mario, yeah, our friend we made the first week we were here, and like really we miss you, man. Like you made our beginning so much better, like, and more enjoyable. We had really cool conversations at dinners and on our walks, and it was so cool.
Yeah, we're really excited to see you again.
Yeah, man.
So if you'd like to connect with us, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram by searching Laurie and Jiri Go Wild, and we'll be releasing pictures and updates about our traveling there. Okay, if you have any questions, suggestions, or would just like to say hi, you can personal message us through our Facebook page or by email at ljgowild@gmail.com.
So this is it, guys. Have a lovely day, whatever and whenever you are. Stay inspired, happy, and wild.
Much love, guys.
Bye.
Bye.